Hello and welcome to today's video. This is really aimed at runners and bikers. So I'm a trail runner and also a mountain biker, and I've put together the best stretches that I've found for doing after you've done your run or your ride. We're all a little bit guilty, me definitely included, of not stretching after we've done our activity, and it's really important to make sure that we're stretching to aid our recovery and also to prevent injuries. So hopefully this practice will be really useful for you and something that you can incorporate in and get into a bit of a routine with stretching. Don't worry, it's not going to be too yoga. We're not going to be doing downward facing dogs or anything like that. We're just going to be using yoga poses to stretch the key muscle groups that we use on our run or on our ride. So when you're ready, meet me in a seated position of your choice, whatever is comfortable for you. So when you have got yourself into a comfortable position, you don't even need a yoga mat for this, just a nice soft surface. We're going to start with our shoulders and our necks. When we're running, we're going to be looking down at the ground, maybe. On bikes, definitely we're kind of rounding forward. So what we want to try and do here is open back up through the chest, and it's also going to be really good for your posture as well. So swim the arms back around behind you so that you can interlace the fingers together. And here what we want to be doing is drawing the hands away from the body and trying to straighten the arms so that we can open up through the shoulder and through the chest. So we're rounding the shoulder blades back and together to really open up that chest. The palms can be touching if you can get there, but that might be really challenging. So it's fine to square off the wrists and create a little bit more space for you. Great. Gently releasing the hands. We're going to send the right arm out towards the side, so it's about 45 degrees-ish, but if you're quite tight in the shoulder, just drop the arm down closer to the ground. It's going to make this a little bit easier for you. So with the arm out to the side, flex the fingers back towards the face, and you should already start to feel that stretch in the arm, particularly the upper arm. And then tilt the head over towards the left. And that should really intensify the stretch in the shoulder and the upper arm, probably shooting all the way down into the lower arm. I definitely feel that. And make sure that you're breathing. And this is actually really important to regulate your nervous system so that when we're stretching, the body doesn't think that something really bad is going to happen, that we're about to injure ourselves. We want to try and relax our muscles so that they will lengthen and they don't tense and contract against us, which is going to do the opposite of what we want to try and do with these stretches. So breathing is a really good way to signal to our body that we are safe, we are okay, what is happening is going to be fine, and to let our muscles relax and lengthen. Great. Bringing the head back up to center, releasing the right arm down, switching to the left side. So sending the left arm out, flexing the fingers back towards the face, and tilting the head over towards the right hand side. Nice, long, slow breaths here. Nice. Bringing the head back up to center, releasing the left arm, and we're going to then draw the chin down towards the chest And then taking one hand and placing it on the back of our head. So we're not pushing, we're just letting the weight of our hand rest on the back of our head. And it will just increase the stretch down the back of our neck a little bit, but in a very gentle way. Releasing that, we're going to come forward onto all fours. And then from here, we're going to lower down onto our bellies with our forearms down on the ground. And with this, we want to try and roll the shoulder blades back and together to open up that chest again. So particularly with biking, we're kind of hunched over, contracting through the front body. When we're running, again, if we're looking down at the earth, if we're trail running, because we need to not trip over roots and stuff, we may be kind of forward. So we want to, with this, counteract that and stretch through the front of our body. And think about actively drawing the elbows back towards the body. So it's almost like you're trying to shift the weight forward to really create that length in the front body. From here, we are going to draw the left knee out towards the side. So we're bringing it up so that it's about in line with the hip. And then we want to make sure that we're keeping the ankle in line with the knee. So we want to be thinking kind of right angles here. So this is kind of half froggy position, and it's really going to be getting into our hip flexors. If you want to intensify the stretch or deepen the stretch a little bit, come up onto the palms, and then you should really be feeling the right hip flexor here. And of course, with running and biking, we're drawing the leg up and down. That's all on our hip flexors. And our hip flexors are an area that we can definitely strain and injure. I have, particularly when I've been increasing my distances with my running, I have found that, yeah, my hip flexors start to get painful, in the middle of a long run. So really want to give them some attention, and this is a great stretch to do that. Coming back down to the forearms, sending the left leg back down to meet the right, and then sweeping that right knee out towards the side so it's about in line with the right hip. Either staying on the forearms if you're finding that you're getting a good stretch here, or pressing up onto the palms. Great, releasing that to come back onto the forearms if you were there, and we're just going to push back up into that tabletop position. Lifting the right knee up, we're going to swing the leg around so that you can place the right foot in between the hands, shift the back knee down the mat a little bit, or if you're not on a mat, just down further away from you, and come into this low lunge. You can lift up and interlace your fingers on top of your thigh if that helps, or the fingertips or the palms can be down on the earth or on something like this to create a little bit more space. This again is going to be stretching into those hips. Sending the hips back now so that the hip is coming over the back knee. You might need to just shuffle the right foot forward slightly and come into this half split hamstring stretch. here, we really want to try and keep the spine long, because that's how we're going to be stretching the hamstring and also the lower back and a few other muscles there around the pelvis. So to do that, you can either lift up on something again, like a pillow or blocks if you have them, or bending the knee. Bending the knee is great with hamstring stretching because it lets you actually lengthen through the lower back, and that's the key, because that's going to let us actually effectively stretch our hamstrings. Great. Shifting forward so that we can swing that right leg back round to meet the left, and we'll switch, so bringing the left foot in between the palms, sinking down into that low lunge. Shift the hips back so the hips are coming over the top of that back knee, and straighten the left leg, but maintaining length in the spine. So if you need to bend that left knee, please do so. Great, releasing that leg back into our tabletop. We're going to tuck the back toes, walk our palms back in towards us as we lift the knees up and come into this forward fold position. And just really bending the knees very generously here, letting the head and neck hang down, and clasp the opposite elbows with the hands to come into this ragdoll. Maybe sway side to side, or you can just hang in stillness. Again, trying to make sure that we're keeping the lower back long and straight. Really creating a little bit of space here in the lower vertebrae that we can sort of compact a lot through running and biking, that creates that lower back pain that many of us suffer from. Okay, releasing the arms, we're going to gently, with nice bent knees, roll up into a standing position. Lifting the arms up overhead, we're going to clasp the left wrist with the right hand, and then pull that left arm up and kind of out of the socket as we send our left leg behind and out to the side. And in doing this, we're going to create a lovely stretch down the side of the body, kind of in this banana shape. Lifting back up to center, switch the hands so the left hand catches the right wrist, pulling the right arm up and out while we send the right toes back and around to the side, getting a lovely side stretch down the right side. Great. Coming back up to center, release the arms, and we're just going to do a very elegant transition. We're just going to bend the knees, hands come behind us to come down into seated position, sending the legs out in front, keeping a nice generous bend in the knees if you need to. We're going to draw the right knee up in towards the chest, and then let the knee fall out and down towards the side, bringing the sole of the foot to touch the inner thigh. Here we want to make sure that we're not kind of going squint too much. We want the hips to be facing the front of, for me, the mat, but nice and square there. And here, lifting the arms up and overhead to create length through the spine before then folding forward. Maybe you can catch the toes, but it's just go as deep as you need to be able to feel that stretch down the hamstring. And again, don't sacrifice the integrity of your spine, bending the knee if you need to draw yourself in. So this stretch is obviously doing the hamstring, we're getting the calf, and we're also, by having the leg out to the side like this, getting the inner thigh and the hip. So we're getting quite a lot, hitting quite a lot of areas here all in a one-er, which is great. Remember to keep breathing. Really try and relax into each pose. Great. Lifting back up, drawing the right knee back up towards the center, and we're going to cross the right foot over the left thigh. And we're then going to draw the left foot in towards the body. So yeah, you're in a little bit of a leg tangle here. Then we're going to hook the left arm over the right knee. The right fingertips come down behind you, and we're going to start to twist to the right side. So here we really should be feeling the stretch in our right butt cheek, in the outer thigh, and then also in the back as we're twisting. Gaze is working towards looking over the right shoulder. Great. Coming back into center, unraveling all of your legs, sending the back out in front of you, and we'll repeat on the other side. So bending the left knee up towards the chest before letting it fall out down towards the side. Giving yourself a quick check that your hips are as square as possible, facing forwards. Inhaling the arms up overhead to then fold forward as best you can. Hands can come to the ground, or they can catch the lower leg, bending the knee if you need to. Nice. Lifting up, we're going to then bring the left knee back in towards the body to step the right foot over the top, the left foot over the top of the right thigh. It's a lot of left and rights in this pose. And then draw the right foot back in towards the body. Give yourself a minute just to figure that out on this side. It might feel very different on this side as well, so just take it easy. Hooking the right elbow over the left knee, placing the left hand behind you to pull yourself, or don't pull too hard, but kind of draw yourself gently into this lovely twist. Nice. Unraveling, and we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. The harder you want to go, the closer the feet come in towards you. I encourage you to actually give yourself a little bit more space, so the feet are a little bit further away from the body. Interlace the fingers behind the feet, and we'll start by just kind of flapping the knees up and down, flapping, fluttering, whatever. And then come into stillness with the knees. And in this one, I encourage you to round forward, letting the head hang down really heavy. The elbows can come outside of the legs, create a little bit more space. And with this, we're really getting some space in the upper back body this time, and really letting the head and neck just hang heavy. Great. Coming back up, sending the legs out in front of you, and we're just going to come down onto our backs, drawing the knees up in towards the chest. You can give your knees a big hug and just rock from side to side, which should feel really nice on the back. Releasing the knees, sending the arms out into a T shape, and then let the knees fall over towards the right hand side. Gaze over towards your left hand, your left palm, to come into this nice supine twist, just to finish here. Bringing the knees back up into center and let them fall over to the left. Gaze, bubble in my throat. Gaze over towards the right hand. Bring the knees back into center, and we're just going to cross the ankles over each other. Palms come to the top of the knees, and we're just going to rock and roll up and down the length of the spine. A little fun end to the class. Come into a seated position. And I'll end the class here. I really hope that they are useful stretches for you, and when you become more familiar with them, if there's one or two that you feel are really beneficial for you, you could maybe simplify it down after your run or your bike to just doing those. And a really effective way of stretching is to hold the stretch for around 30 seconds, release the stretch, have a break for around 15 seconds, and then repeat for 3 times. But we really want to be trying to hold stretches for around 30 seconds if we can. So just pick a couple of stretches to do after your bike or your run, and then try and just do a couple of stretches, because a little really does go a long way when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I hope that you enjoyed this and that it's helpful, and yeah, enjoy your adventures.